you're always complaining that you're wearing too many hats, which is the case in today's world. But what we are not thinking is how to change it, how to do the 12 hours work in 9 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Crestcom makes you think like that. When you're going home, you are going home with a clear mind, with a feeling that you accomplished what your agenda said. Every employee, we believe, should grow and should succeed to higher levels. And in order to do that, they need help. And training is a big part of that. So Crestcom has really helped a lot of employees learn that there's a lot more to what they have to know.
When revenue is declining or the economy isn't as good as it was, the first thing that goes is the budget for things like training or Crestcom. And that's the worst decision to make, because you need to continually develop your people in order to get to the next level and bring that revenue back.
We know it takes at least 3 months to change behavior. And you can't do that if you go to a course for 2 days, 3 days, hey listen, a whole week if you could spare it, because we know you get all that information, you got your binder, you head back to the office, you got 1,000 emails to answer, people are lined up at the door waiting to talk to you because you've been away, so you take the binder, you put it on the shelf, and you say, I'll get back to it as soon as I can. And we have found they rarely do.
They get a greater sense of understanding where their issues are and how to solve them. And it's not all about top-line sales and bottom-line results. There's so much in the middle of an organization that we touch on that ultimately can affect top-line sales, bottom-line results.
We help them to get rid of some bad habits, perhaps, that they've acquired over the years, and we allow them to see things a little differently, to approach things with a fresh perspective. The tools really help them to do their job more easily.
If your team has better core competencies to handle everything that's being thrown at them, then the business owner, the leader, the CEO, the president can go off on vacation and know that he's got a team that will be able to handle what's put in front of them. Whereas in the past, he may not have either been on vacation or he was on vacation, but his phone was right beside him every minute of the day. And how much fun is that?
Crestcom is more guidelines. It's more trying to develop that leader instead of saying this is the way you will lead. Trying to change the communication pattern so that people can still think for themselves and develop throughout that program.
Engaged employees will produce much better. They're happier at what they do. Our clients are happier with their work. We know that training helps, assists us to engage employees better. They know how to do their job better. And programs like Crestcom have really helped us, increase employee engagement.
All I've ever gotten from feedback from people has been very positive about the program. The one thing they do universally say is that on day one, when they're about to sign up or when they're just signed up, they're surprised that the whole thing takes a year to complete, and then by the time they're at the end of it, they're surprised it's done so fast.
It isn't channeled into one particular narrow area of business or interacting with people. It provides a very broad spectrum of training for employees.
When I look at the entire team as a whole now, it enabled us to just have a whole different way to approach one another. We are now, I would say, presenting much more effectively. Our conversations are certainly much more concise. We've taken a very optimistic way of leading, and everybody's singing from the same song sheet.
The good part with Crestcom is that what we found is not only are you training at Crestcom, but you're training and you're communicating when you get back in the office at a whole different level. subconsciously people just start using it.
We did see, of course, a lot of additional revenue as a result of some of the sales techniques that came through the program, but I was pleasantly surprised to see how much we were able to actually save as a result of some of the techniques and methods that some of our leaders had taken.
If you want the best for your employees, why wouldn't you bring the best into it to help you train those employees or those team members? So I think if you're sitting on the fence, the action is, why not take that next step? Because if you sit and do nothing, you're doing the same old, so you're back on the treadmill.